This is a video you can do when you're having some lower back pain. We're going to stand in the front of our mat and reach one arm up and over into a nice side stretch. And then the same thing to the other side, reaching up and over. Bringing your arm down, nice deep breath in. We're going to reach our arms up overhead and exhale into a nice forward fold. Bending through your knees, making this as comfortable as you need to for your low back. And fingertips come down to the mat, stepping back into your downward facing dog. We're going to go ahead and start pedaling our legs, bending one knee as we press the opposite heel towards the floor, and vice versa. And you can kind of shift your hips back and forth if that feels good. And really press into one hand and the opposite heel, just moving around however feels good there. Then let's go ahead and lower down onto our knees and into child's pose. From child's pose, we're slowly going to lift up onto our knees, lifting our chin a little bit, getting a nice low back stretch, lowering right back down into child's pose. We're going to do that a few times. So coming up onto our hands and knees, lifting through your chin, lifting your tailbone, and settling right back down into child's pose. And again, coming up, lifting your chin, getting that nice stretch through the front of your core and into your low back. And one more time, just like that, lifting up, lifting through your chin, and then lowering right back down, settling into child's pose. This time we're going to add on, so you're going to lift up, then you're going to tuck your toes, sitting back into down dog for a couple seconds. Then lowering back down onto your knees, sitting back into child's pose. We're going to repeat that 3 more times, so taking it nice and slow, lifting up, lifting your chin, tucking your toes, sitting back to down dog. Slowly lowering back down onto your knees and back into child's pose. Again, lifting up, tuck your toes, sit back, slowly lower right back down onto your knees and back into child's pose. And we're going to do that one last time. So lifting up, looking up, tucking your toes, sitting back, lowering down to your knees, sitting back onto your heels into child's pose. Coming up now for cat and cow, making sure your wrists are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. We're going to exhale as we arch our back up, dropping through our tailbone, dropping through the chin, then inhale as we lift up, looking up towards the ceiling and lifting our tailbone nice and high. Just taking your time here, moving back and forth at a pace that feels comfortable for you. This is such a good one for anyone with any low back issues. And then we're going to reach one arm and the opposite leg out into our spinal balance. We're going to do one more of those. So really trying to keep your hips level here and lowering down. And then sitting right back into child's pose, taking lots of nice breaks in child's pose here. You don't want to stress out the back when it's already angry, so taking the time to let it relax here is a wonderful, wonderful stretch. From child's pose, we're going to come back up onto all fours, and you're going to look over one shoulder as you push out with the opposite hip in the opposite direction, just getting a little bit of a lateral flexion here for your spine. And one more time either side. And slowly come back, and we're going to lower down onto our hips and sweep our feet around into a seated position with our legs stretched out in front of us. Take a nice deep breath in, nice and tall. Exhale as we reach forward, keeping a nice long spine. Try not to round through the back, relaxing your shoulders and pointing your toes up towards the ceiling. Feel a nice stretch along the back of the leg here. We're going to walk our hands just to one side. You don't have to go very far. And then to the other side, keeping your core drawing in, nice long spine. Slowly back to the center and inhale up one more time. Exhale, reach forward, keep those shoulders relaxed. Keep those toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Nice, long, good spinal alignment. We're going to take this to a gentle spinal twist. You're going to bring your right foot up, bend the knee, arms are up. Inhale, and as you exhale, twist from your belly button, spine, and then your chest. Inhale, as you exhale, twist a little bit further, then bring your hands down for support. Point your left toes up towards the ceiling, pressing your right toes into the mat and feel the length in your spine. You slowly turn back to the front. Bring your left foot in. Inhale. So you exhale, twisting belly button. Ribs, then spine, or chest rather. Hands down for support. Get a nice stretch. Really control this. Keeping your core nice and engaged. And then very slowly, chest, ribs, then belly, turning back to the front. And we're slowly going to make our way down onto the mat. Our knees are bent, feet flat on the floor. We're going to start to lift our hips, putting one vertebrae at a time just into a really low bridge, and then exhale, lowering right back down. Slowly lifting up, one vertebrae at a time, pressing evenly into both feet. Exhale, slow right back down. And again, we're going to lift up. And as we lower down, trying to articulate one vertebrae at a time, get a nice stretch through there. We're going to do one more of those. So lifting up, this time we're going to hold there a little bit longer. Try to lift your hips a little bit higher. Really pressing through the front of your hip bones. Feet are evenly pressing into the mat, and then very slowly lowering down. You're going to draw your knees in and just bring your hands to the top of your kneecaps. Just sort of rock back and forth a little bit. We're going to start right here. My head's resting right at the mat. You're going to lift your legs up as you reach your arms behind you, and then sweep everything right back to your knees. Exhale as you reach those feet up, arms behind the head. Inhale, coming in. Do that a couple more times. And back. And let's try one more time. And coming back. Bring your hands behind your knees. We're going to rock back and forth or draw a circle with your knees. Get a nice one last release for your low back. And slowly bring our feet down to the floor, laying nice and long on our mat. Close our eyes. You can finish off here on final relaxation. Hopefully your back is feeling a little bit better and you're feeling a little bit more relaxed. Have a wonderful day.